When most people hear the words 24/7 male chastity, they imagine frustration. They imagine a kink that is purely physical, but they are missing the point entirely. Male chastity isn't about the device, it's about what the device represents. At its core, permanent chastity is the ultimate act of surrender, and you cannot surrender to someone you do not trust with your life. Today, we are breaking down the psychology behind it. Here are 5 reasons why 24/7 chastity doesn't just play with power, it builds unbreakable trust. Reason number 1, total transparency. In a traditional relationship, it is incredibly easy to hide things. Secret browser tabs, private messages, suppressed desires. This secrecy creates an invisible wall between partners. Chastity obliterates that wall. When a man hands over the keys, he is handing over his privacy. There is nowhere to hide. This forced vulnerability strips away the anxiety of deception. When there are no secrets, the baseline anxiety of a relationship drops to 0. You are left with pure, unfiltered honesty. Reason number 2, it shifts the focus from the physical to the emotional. Society trains men to view intimacy through a purely physical lens. But when the physical release is restricted, the dynamic has no choice but to change. Conversations become longer. Eye contact becomes deeper. The submissive partner is forced to articulate his feelings, his needs, and his devotion through words and actions, rather than just physical gratification. It forces both partners to actually get to know the person underneath the physical shell. Reason number 3, it demands constant, high-stakes communication. A dynamic like this requires continual check-ins. Is the device comfortable? Is the mental headspace secure? Are the boundaries being respected? Because the stakes are high, neither partner can afford to be passive. It trains the couple to communicate about discomfort, desires, and boundaries in a way that vanilla relationships rarely require. This communication naturally spills over into the rest of the relationship. If you can talk about chastity, you can talk about anything. Reason number 4, it creates a safe space for the fawn response. In trauma psychology, the fawn response is a survival mechanism where a person appeases others to avoid conflict. In a healthy, female-led relationship, the submissive partner is allowed to safely express this deep-seated need to serve and please. Because the dom holds the keys, she holds the power. But in a healthy dynamic, she uses that power to create a zero-judgment zone. The submissive learns that his deepest, most vulnerable psychological triggers aren't shameful. They are accepted. That level of acceptance creates a profound psychological safety net. Reason number 5, unshakable loyalty through positive dependence. Critics call it codependence. Psychology calls it interdependence. When a man's most basic physical drive is willingly placed in the hands of his partner, a unique bond forms. His focus shifts entirely to her. This isn't about weakness, it is about intentional devotion. He relies on her for his release, and in return, she relies on his unwavering presence and service. It creates a feedback loop of reliance and care that standard relationships simply cannot replicate. Chastity isn't a fetish, it is a psychological tool. A tool that, when used with consent and communication, strips away ego, destroys secrecy, and builds a level of trust that most people will never experience. If you are struggling to introduce this dynamic to your partner, or if you just want to understand the psychology behind it on a deeper level, I wrote a free guide for you. It breaks down the 5 steps to opening up about your kinks without fear or judgment. You can download the PDF right now at defiantdeviance.com/free guide. Link is in the description. Stay defiant.